in these cases, are you chayiv achas or shtayim, right? So we want to know what it meant. So we said there were three cases. There was a case of Zora doesn't avod on Shabbos, right? Then we had the case of Balmum, who was Tomei, who did the avodah, and the third was Zor she'ochal Malika, right? So the question is, how many lavin was he over? So Reb Chia says 2, and Bar Kavar says 1. Each one swore that that's what Rebbe said, back and forth. So let's start from Lamed Gimel. We'll start on Lamed Gimel on the 33a on the very top. The my kamiflagi. Visa kol alib Rabbi Yossi. Now let's. Rabbi Yossi had said earlier, it was machlokes Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon, that what a person who comes upon achosa, which is neishasach shalom makom mitzvah, how many yisurim is he in violation of? So Rabbi Yossi says 2 chatos. Rabbi Shimon says 1. Okay. So Mar seemingly Rabbi Yossi holds that what is chaliter. So Mar says, but he doesn't. It's only Issa Mosif. Remember we said Issa Mosif. Issa Mosif. Reb Shimon says no, he rejects the whole thing. Doesn't hold it. So the discussion, the Gemara says, B'maika b'filgi, Issa Kol Alib Rabbi Yossi. Right? Mosif, clear. What Rabbi Yossi says is a Mosif before. What about Kolel? Okay? Reb Chia Sova Rabbi Yossi Bisa Kol Mechayiv. Tarti. Bar Kavar Sova Lo Mechayiv El meaning. Ba Issa Mosif, that's Rabbi Yossi's name, Issa Mosif. Yemosif Achim, right? Over there, what happened? We're talking about he married his wife, right? He married his wife. And now his brother marries the sister. So the sister, now when the sister brother marries the sister, is there an Ishasach to him? Because she's already Achosishta's wife. So we say, since there were other brothers, so it's Mosif other brothers. So if once you're already adding Ishasach, so he's included the Ishasach. So that's the case of Rabbi Yossi. Issa Kol is something else. Issa Kolel is speaking, as we'll see over here, as the Gemara will say. Issa Kolel. So Rashi says, L'kam forish ma Issa Kolel. What's the Issa Kolel? Rabbi Chia Sov, Rabbi Yossi, Issa Kolel Mechayiv, Tarti, Bar Kabor Sova, Lo Mechayiv Elachado. Ma Issa Kolel. What's the Issa Kolel? Hocha Bishlo Mazor, Mei Korishar B'Melocha. Goes to explain. Zor. Okay, a regular non-Kohen during the week, he's permitted to do any malacha he wants, correct? V'osa b'avoda, but he's not permitted to do avoda because he's not a Kohen in the base of Mikdash during the week. Asiyah lo Shabbos, now all of a sudden Shabbos comes, so something that he's permitted to now becomes osir. Migu to go mitzvah b'mlocha, once Isurim come upon him, mitzvah nami b'avoda. I mean, once Isurim come, it's like a gilgul. It's like a gilgul, right? Everything comes. Even one's unrelated to the other, doesn't make a difference. Like, Einish ban al karkos, right? You don't swear on karka. But if a person swears on metaltlin, once you do metaltlin, then you swear on karka, on fixed properties. Same. Once you swear, you already roll it all the way out. So once we're into Nui Surim, even this which is unrelated, that is also comes in. Avoda. Okay? That's kolel. Okay? Balmum. Meikora shari b'achila. A balmum is permitted to eat kochim, right? Although he's not permitted to do avoda. Vosa b'avoda. Eat me lay. Now he becomes tomei. He becomes tomei. And what does he do? And now he does the avoda as a tomei. As a tomei. Migut mitzvah b'achila. So now tomei is not permitted to kochim. Correct? Mitzvah nami b'avoda. So that's kolel. Once we roll it out, we roll it out all the way. Ela maliko. The vasachasi, Malika is not kolel. So why does Bakara argue? No, 2 is poshut. No, what does Bakara argue? We're saying Bakara says, he doesn't know the kolel. Okay, good. This is vasachas simultaneously. So no, that's why he's chayiv too. That's why he's chayiv too. He should be chayiv too. So Bakara says only 1. Why only 1? You reject the concept of kol is one thing. I understand, right? But over here, where it comes simultaneously, right? He's a zor. What is he doing? He's a zor is eating. He's not permitted to coach him. He's not permitted in the velo, right? El velika vasachasi the mishkachslo. Biskolo lemoshkachslo. If that's the case, what does Bakabor say? Chayv only achas b'shtayim. Elo kamifli bis vasachas. What's the machlokes between Bakabor and Rechia? I'll leave it to Rabbi Yossi. No. They're not arguing kolel, isim vasachas, even according to Rabbi Yossi, chayv vasachas is achas ushtayim. That's the question. Achas ushtayim. That's a separate. So we say the primary, whatever it is. That's not. But it's the same law. No. Which means if let's say like this. No, it's going with the same rationale, the same lomdis. Why is ein yisachal liser? And yisachal liser is the whole idea is if it's already osir, the Torah just doesn't heap on isurim, doesn't add isurim. It's forbidden. So therefore, the second isur doesn't mean anything. We said is isur mosif because no, the second isur we're adding on the brothers. Once we're adding eshesach, you're a brother. You're also a brother. Eshesach, you pulled in. Over here, if we're saying two isurim come, and there's a primary and there's a secondary, whichever one's the primary. Why should the secondary come back? We already have the primary. So it's the same rationale of Ein Yisachal Liser. Rabbi Yossi says, no. So Rabbi Chia says, if that's the Vasachas, doesn't make a difference. Since they're coming at the same time, we don't differentiate the primary, secondary. They both come at the same time. That's Rabbi Chia. That's Rabbi Chia. Right? But leave it to Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Chia saw Rabbi Yossi, V'Yisrachas M'chayv Shtarim. Tarti. So no, lo M'chayv Elachado. V'hocham ha'isib Vasachas. What has to come about at the same time? Zor Shishimish B'Shabbos. He became an adult on Shabbos, right? The puberty. The Havi was Zar, so Shabbos Badi Adodi. So they came at the same time. A Zor was officiating on Shabbos. So the provision of Shabbos came, and Zaros. One didn't precede the other. Balmum Nami Gondaisi Shtei Cyrus. Vidmilei. Right? Itmilei. David lay Balmum Batum Badi Adodi. Let's say he was a minor. He became Tomei. And now, he until he became a dope meant nothing. So now, both come in effect simultaneously. Good. That's how he became a Balmum. Okay, so now we have all the cases. So what's the machlokes? Do you say, we say Basachas, don't you say Basachas? Okay? That's the machlokes by Kapora and Bar Kapora and Reb Chia. They're arguing according to Rabbi Yossi. I'll leave it to Rabbi Yossi. The Rabbi Chia ki asked me day. Rabbi Chia said his position. Shtayim. I'll leave it to Rabbi Yossi. Ki asked me the Bak Kaporid. I'll leave it to Reb Shimon. 1 second. Meaning like this. Rabbi Chia says, look, I swear, Rabbi said this. What you're saying, you know something? It's true. There is a basis, but you got it mixed up. Rebbe said that according to Reb Shimon, not according to Reb Yossi. That's how Reb Chia understood that other position. Reb Bar Kapor is saying, no, Rebbe said that according to Reb Yossi. Reb Chia says, no. Reb Yossi, Basachas, Shtayim. No, so Reb Chia says, what you're saying is correct, but you misunderstood. Rebbe said that according to Reb Shimon. But according to Reb Yossi, Shtayim is Basach Shtayim, right? But according to Kaporo, what's he going to say? He's quoting Rebbe, I'll leave it to Rabbi Yossi. He said one. So what is he saying? He said, Rabbi Chia, what you're saying is a lie. He's a Shekurim B'Shakir. See, according to Rabbi Chia, you're able to reconcile both. Rebbe said both. One's I'll leave it to Rabbi Yossi, one's I'll leave it to Rabbi Shimon. But according to you, they're saying even according to Rabbi Yossi, it's Achas. And I'm swearing that according to Rabbi Yossi, Shtayim, who Rebbe said. So I took a Shvus Sheker. Shekurim B'Shakir. That's Gemara's question. Elabar Kapora, Reb Chia, Shkurika B'Shakir. Basically, he's saying, Reb Chia, what you're saying is a lie. Elo Kamiflgi B'Visam Basachas. He says, so we have to switch it. What's the argument? I'll leave it to Reb Shimon. Oh, now it's good. Reb Shimon normally holds any Yisachal Liser. The question is, what about according to Reb Shimon? What Vasachas? Since they come Vasachas, it's not a problem Yisachal Liser. Because there's only one precedes the other. You can hear it according to Reb Shimon. I still hold Vasachas because they come simultaneous, right? So that's the discussion. Leave it to Reb Shimon. So Bishlam to Reb Chia, Kamishtabel, Lafukim to Reb Shimon, Nichiskio. According to Reb Chia, he's swearing. Because according to Reb Shimon, according to Chizkio, that he learns the case. Vasachas, it doesn't work. The Rashi, let's see. I'll leave it to Reb Chizkio. Rega. Tahavi maskin lo the Reb Shimon Lukulov shtabale Reb Chia Vasachas Modi, meaning Reb Shimon, Reb Chizki says Reb Shimon holds never is Chalisa. So he wants to say no. So Reb Shimon's always Mekel, always one. So that he says he's swearing to emphasize the point. No, that according to Reb Shimon, he's Machmir. He's Machmir, he agrees. It's not his Chalis, it's Shneim Chalim. The Shneim Vasachas. Ella ba Kaporo, lo malish tabui. Right, for what reason, what does he have to swear? Kasha, I mean, what does he have to emphasize? Bishlam ba Kaporo, Kiasnio, Rebbe Lididei, Ali Reb Shimon. According to he says, what did Rebbe say? According to Reb Shimon, that even according to Reb Shimon, it's Achas and not Shtayim. So it comes out, Kiasna Reb Chio, Ali Reb Yossi. Wait, right? So and so if we're saying it's according, Rebbe said according to Reb Shimon. See, when he swore, he's giving validity to Reb Chia's position, but you know who that's according to? That's according to Reb Yossi. It's Chaliser. Ella, then we'll say Ella Reb Chia, but Reb Chia says no. According to Reb Shimon, it's Shtayim. So when you're swearing that, you're saying so Bakabur is Sheker. Ella Reb Chia, Bakabur Shkuri Mishaker. Omalach Reb Chia, Ki Asni Rebbe Lididei Tarti. Liftor, 1 second. Ki Tanyo, Ki Asni Rebbe Lididei Tarti. 1 second. Amalek Reb Chia. Vade bar kabar lo mishaker. Wait. Yeah, wait a sec. He says, Raji. Vade bar kabar lo mishaker. El toy the Rebbe. Toy the Rebbe. Vade ptura astio. V'lo bekula el betarti. Meaning, he says he's not, but he made a mistake. The Rebbe vade ptura astni. He said potter. Rebbe, Reb Chia agrees. Rebbe said potter. But which one? V'lo bekulu. El betarti b'zor shishimish b'shabis, u'bal mum shishimish b'tumah, the mashkachs beid al yidei kola, bein vasachas kidom aleo. It depends. Kolel Reb Shimon rejects. Vasachas he holds. So we said, we had 2 cases, we had kolel. So one case, good. So that's what he says. Reb Shimon holds tart, according to Reb Shimon, according to Rebbe, according to Reb Shimon, 2 out of 3 cases, achas. But one case is of course, it's Vasachas, yeah. Finished. That's Maliko. Amalach Reb Shchio, ki asna Rebbe lididei, tati liftor. Asnio. The Isser, 1 second. The Isser kolel, asnio. And regarding what did he say? Chad and not tarti. That's Isser kolel. Alib Reb Shimon. V'chazle b'kaporo. L'zor shochel Maliko. And what? He saw Zor shochel v'aydi the dam yulei, orva ba'dayu. Wait a second. So he says, all of a sudden he hears Rebbe say, Zor Ochal Maliko is what? The dam. 1 second. No, which is similar. Wait, which is similar? No. The first 2 you have kolel. Right. You can have vasachas also, but it doesn't have to be vasachas. If they brought shtei Cyrus b'Shabbos, it's vasachas. But you have a case definitely zachazeh, right? So he heard Rebbe said in those cases achas. So of course, because Reb Shimon rejects the concept of kolel. Now he heard the 3rd case. He says, well, the 3rd case is like the first 2 cases. Yes, so therefore, and Rebbe said it, they kolel. That's where Reb Shimon rejects it. So Bar Kavar heard it. He heard Zor Shimesh. Rebbe said achas here also, but they're not comparable. Or there's no kolel. So he equated the 3rd case to the first 2 cases. It was a mistake. Okay? V'libi Reb Shimon v'chazi lebakaporo l'zor shochol maliko v'aydi the dam yulei lo arba badayu. He mixed it up with those. He says this is like that. Reb Shimon just the first 2 cases is what? It's achas. 3rd case is achas. Reb Chia says you made a mistake. Right? Vasachas v'sovar midhob vasachas. The 3rd case is at vasachas. Rebbe says 2 cases also. He's not mechal whether it's zeachas or vasachas. The kolel. Umedahanuch liftor, hanuch nami liftor. That was his mistake.
One made the 3rd one and brought the 2 cases. The other one took the 2 cases and the 3rd one.
I'll tell you what the difficulty is. I mean, why did Bakapur such a mistake? Factually, the first 2 cases we said. So he said he heard which is on Vasachas. The third case on Vasachas, the first two. But they're not comparable, right? Because the first two cases are what? Are kolel. You can have a case of kolel. Yeah, but how do you equate them? No, Rebbe never spoke about the third case. Rebbe never spoke about the third case. When he heard the third case as well, the third case is like the first case. But the third case is Vasachas. The first two cases could be either one. So if it could be, so how could you say with such definiteness, which Rebbe didn't discuss the third case? This is you're discussing. You want to make a comparison, but they're not comparable. This is only this, and that could be either one or another. Yeah, I mean, it was a toast he made. I mean, to make such a... That's the toast, but to make such a toast... Reb Chia didn't make a toast. No, Reb Chia is good. Reb Chia is saying, according to Reb Shimon, Vasach is passed to all of them. Reb Chia never, according to Reb Shimon, the last case is never relevant. Rebbe never said the third case. Rebbe only spoke about the first two cases. That's what we said. According to Reb Chia, first two cases, that's what Shimon argues. The third case he agrees because it's Vasachas. Right? On Omen Aleph. Omen Aleph, the Gemara said that. Okay? Meisveig. We're holding on the second side of the page. Meisveig. Zor Shishimish B'Shabbos. A non-Kohen officiates on Shabbos. Okay? Baal Mub Shishimish B'Tumah. The three cases. Yesh Kam Mishum Zarus Mishum Shabbos. He's a violation of a non-Kohen officiating and Shabbos. Umishum Baal Mum Umishum Tumah. Divrei Rabbi Yossi. Okay, Rabbi Yossi is not a problem. Okay? So clear. So according to Rabbi Yossi, it's Issachal Liser. Clear what is the speaking. It could be one or two, either kolel or vasachas. That once you start rolling it out, you roll it all the way out. Oh, give me some water, please. Meaning, so we explained before, a zor can never officiate. A zor is not permitted to do any melacha during the weekday. What happens if Shabbos comes? He's not permitted to do melacha. So once we say we're imposing other areas of prohibition on him, so once we can impose other areas of prohibition, although he was already prohibited in those areas. That's the concept of kolel. You understand? Let's say during the week, a zor would want to, let's say, it's not relevant. A zor is not permitted to do avoda during the week. So let's say during the week some other issue would come on avoda, it would not be chal, would not take effect. You understand? If a non-kohen is not permitted to do avoda, let's say a zor will become tummy. The zor will become tummy, and during the week, he was originally not tummy, becomes tummy. He does the avoda. What did he violate? Doing the avoda b'tumah or just doing the avoda? Just doing the avoda. Right? Because the prohibition of that he's not permitted to officiate preceded tumah. Right? Even Rabbi Yossi would agree there. Because that's literally one cannot come upon the other. Here, during the week, he's permitted to violate, to do any creative activity. Shabbos comes, he's not permitted. During the week, he's not permitted to do avoda, the non-kohen. Now Shabbos comes, what happens on Shabbos? The Torah introduces new prohibitions on him. Now you're not permitted to do creative activity. Once you're not permitted to creative activity, now it's an open door. We could say even to go to another area, that in addition you're also not permitted to do. Meaning when you do that, you're going to be in violation of Shabbos. No, there's not simultaneous. Even though sequential, but it does make a difference. Once we say you're not permitted to do melacha, so we're saying you're also in violation of what? You're not permitted to do melacha within the context of avoda. Even though the avoda, what he's doing the avoda, it's within the context of violating Shabbos, he has to burn the animal on the mizbeach. He has to multiple prohibitions, even though the prohibition of not doing the avoda already preceded it. But since not doing Shabbos is something which came into play, now you're in violation of doing the avoda because you're violating Shabbos. No, there'll be two. Definitely two. Definitely two. According to Rabbi Yossi, definitely two. Here, they're not simultaneous. It was saying it's two. Right. The Chiddush is here that even though they're sequential, you're liable for two. So some definitely you'll be liable for two. Okay? So we have over here. Okay, so Rabbi Yossi says, Shtayim, Yichayv for two. Rabbi Shimon Omer, Ein kan elam mishum zarus, u'balmum levad. Right? He's not in violation of Shabbos for doing the avodah, and the balmum, who became tomei, he's not in violation of eating kochim betuma. Ve'ilu malika sharia. What does the mention malika in the Mishnah? They hear. So seemingly because malika, even Reb Shimon would agree, because that's vasachas. That's why he left out that case. Why does it only discuss the first two cases? Yeah. So you see clearly that what? The Reb Chi is wrong. I mean, Rabbi Kapor is wrong. But Kapor wanted to compare the third case to the first two cases. So said wanted the Mishnah only discuss two cases, wanted to discuss the third case. So evidently, because even Reb Shimon agrees there, because there it takes place simultaneously. They both agree, right? He's deducing this from the Mishnah. He's bringing a raya from the Mishnah. Vilu maliko sharia, leman sharia. For who is he leaving it out? Rabbi Yossi. Hash Rabbi Yossi bisa kole mechayev. Right? Shtayim. Bisa abasachs mi boy. Definitely is chayev. Elolav. Who's it left out according to? Elolav. Reb Shimon. Biskolu the potter al bisa basachas mechayev. Tiyufted ba kaporo tiyufta gone. Fully refuted. By kaporo out the window. No, you got company, Howard. Out the window. Okay? Zor shishimish b'Shabbos. Okay? Back. B'mai. Now we speak the Zor who fished in Shabbos. Now we say shchitas ksher b'Zor. So if that's the case, is a non-Kohen during the week of a non-Kohen does shchita, even on a chatos. It's valid. Right? Because shchita, even the non-Kohen is qualified. It's only from receiving the blood onward. So let's say a Zor would do shchita on Shabbos. Is it a violation of Shabbos? Maybe you say maybe. For Shabbos you have to be a Kohen. Even though shchita, maybe a Kohen, only a Kohen is qualified. We'll see. Right? We want to know what it says. Zor shimish Shabbos. B'mai. In what context did he do avodah? So we see clear. When if a Zor does shchita on Shabbos, he's not in violation of Shabbos. Of course, that's parshas. You do all the avodah in the basement. Why is this? Yeah, but a zor for shchita is like the coin for all the avodos. Yeah, but if the zor does, let's say, but if the zor, wait, no, if the zor would do haktorah,
that's avodah that is not allowed. Nothing to do with Shabbos.
Because he's not allowed to do it.
I'm saying there is a Shabbos in the Mikdash.
You want to say it's the chuya.
And exclude the Kohanim, so therefore the Tar will be the chuya of Shabbos. Because on him, the Shabbos, they exclude only the Kohanim from Shabbos. And if you want to say here,
What you're saying is not correct. It's not correct.
no Shabbos,
Not correct. So I'm asking you. Yes. Let me show you where your lumdus is flawed. So let's talk about Haktorah. Is there Shabbos for Haktorah in the Mikdash? I know, I understand, but you're one being right. If a Zor couldn't do Shechita on Shabbos, right? Oh, you mean even though he's qualified to do it, he can't do it? Okay. Okay. There's no. The Gemara says clearly, Zor does Shechita on Shabbos, he's not Chayiv. Because he's no different than a Kohen.
No, Shabbos.
He's no different than a Kohen. Shechita Ksheber Zor, regarding Shechita, he's qualified. Anybody's qualified to do Avod in the Beis Hamikdash. And the Torah says Avod in the Mikdash is mutter on Shabbos.
Why?
Because Torah says Avod in the Mikdash because that has to be done. Let it be Tchuya, let it be Hutra, let it be whatever it is. Can I ask you, what about a Korban Yochid? The person brings a Korban Yochid. A Korban brings what about a Korban Yochid? On Shabbos that's brought by a Kohen. Is he Mechal Shabbos? He's Mechal Shabbos. Only a Korban Tzibur. Only a Korban Tzibur could be brought on Shabbos. Of course, he's chayv chatos. Or he's Mises Bezdin if he's forewarned. So I'm saying it's only for Korban Tzibur. Korban Tzibur you permit, Korban Yochid you're not permitted. Because the Torah says whoever is qualified to do the avodah, Shabbos doesn't interfere. Even Zor. Okay? Zor shishim shvab b'mai. Ibe shchid b'zor kshere. Vig b'kapol v'loch til to balmo. What's that? This is not a malocha. Right? Transporting the blood, receiving the blood, transporting the blood. Ibak Torah. Oh. Tremendous. Bo'omer Rabbi Yossi. Terrific. Havar alav yotzoso. It's terrific. Rabbi Yossi says chayv shtayim. We're saying. Right? Because it's chalisr. According to Rabbi Yossi, what are we talking about? Chayv tu chatos. Rabbi Yossi old havar alav yotzoso. If Rabbi Yossi is an argument, the Torah says lo sasko malocha. Everything's juxtaposed to the Mishkan. Then it says lo svara ish b'chol mashur seichem. You're not permitted to kindle fire in your communities. Why did the Torah single out kindling? So Rabbi Yossi says, you know why? Because for all the other creative activities, you're liable for the death penalty. Kindling, only a lav. No death penalty. So according to that, we're saying to Rabbi Yossi that you chayv shtayim. So what did he do? If he burnt the carbon, that's havora. So havora is only a lav. Can't be the shchita ksher bezor. Halacha v'kabbalah v'halacha, it's tiltul balma. There can't be aktorah lav yotzes. So what? Zor shishimesh b'shabes chayv shtayim. What's the shtayim? V'tu mechatos, tu chatos. Omer avachre b'shchitas poro shel kohen gadol. Oh, we're talking about shchitas poro shel kohen gadol. Uchdiv yom shchita poro shel kohen gadol b'zor psula. Like let's talk about avodas yom kippurim. That's not what it means. Avodas yom kippurim, only the kohen gadol was qualified to do the shchita. Wait. I said only a kohen gadol. So even an ordinary kohen does shchita on Yom Kippur, he's violating Yom Kippur. But here we're talking about a zor. So we're talking about not the avodah Yom Kippur, we're talking about the avodah during the year. So if a kohen gadol goes and inadvertently eats chaylev, he brings a different type of korban. He has to bring a par because he's a more advanced Jew. So there's a question. Although we normally say shchita ksher bezor, there's an opinion that says, but for Porshel Kohen Gadol, only a Kohen is qualified. Not a Zor. Oh, so that was good. Now it's good. So a Zor Shishimish B'Shabes, Shchita on Porshel Kohen Gadol. So I chayv achas or shtayim. Right? That's the two different, right? Zor, right? Zor Psula. I hochi ma'yu Zor afil Kohen Hejid Nami. Shezor Etzlo Komar. Yeah, no, that's the answer. That's Zor. So Zor doesn't mean a non-Kohen. Anybody who's considered estranged from this avoda. So so once we're so the partial Kohen Gadol over here we're talking about. Rashi says Yom Kippurim. Yom Kippurim. Avodas Yom Kippurim is only valid only by the Kohen. Only the Kohen Gadol could officiate. It's chilul. That's Zor Shishimish. Good. Yeah. That's where. Not a Zor Yisrael. No, right? Correct. Maskil of Ravashi. Midi chatos ketoni. Midi chatos ketoni or lavi ketoni. He says the whole question never was his question. We asked. According to Rabbi Yossi, havor lav yotzoso. If so, it's only a lav. It's a chayv shtayim. It's two chatos. So what's the name? Is Ravashi says, who says shtayim means two chatos? Who says two sin offerings? Maybe two isuri, like we said earlier. L'chorah ben rosham gemurim. Right? How many isurim did he violate? Not chatos. Shtayim means how many lavim. That's what he says. That's what he says. Omalei Rav Maskov Rav Midi Chatos Tironi. Eli Surbaum Kochoshiv. Lamay Nafkemino Lekover Ben Rishom Gemurim. Finished. That's what it means. Time. How bad of a guy is he? Right. Ben Rishoim Gemurim. Yeah. Some acherim chamurim. Risham Chamurim. The question is it Gemurim or Chamurim? Now you know what a machmir is. It's a machmir. Not so simple. Yeah. Somebody's machmirim. What is that? Yeah, my Rishiv Zechron, we should say, one of the, we do video in Yom Kippur, you say, he tarti yasa osir, osati yasa mutter. Right? That's what we say. We permitted something that was forbidden, and we forbade something that was permitted. So you used to ask, that you forbade something that's permitted, that you permitted something that's permitted. Oh, good, you have to tshuva. You have to say vidui. But osati yasa osir, as a mutter, what did you do so terrible? So you machmir. That was the question he used to ask. So he says, he tells over a story. Jews come to America, and they're so-called religious Jews, and they're still religious. Shomer Shabbos. Chaim's walking down the street, he passes a barber shop. He sees his friend Yankel. He's on the barber, all lathered up, and the barber is using a straight razor. Should give me a shave. So he runs into the shop. He says, Yankel, what happened? You became a goy using a razor? He says, well, I'm doing nothing wrong. He says, in Europe they said that if you cut your beard, it's like shaving with a razor. So in America I couldn't have a beard. So what's wrong with shaving with a razor? This is a sardis amuter. If you mock me, it's the same. So that I can't have a beard. So what's wrong with using a razor? That's a sardis amuter. That's a consequence of that. Chamurim. It's like some people say, and this a real application. Person has, Chol of Yisrael, Chol of Rav Moshe created a new category of Cholov in America. It's called Chol of Stam. No, seriously. The Gemara speaks. I'll tell you. Rav Moshe said like this: Mikar Adin, milk that's not Chol of Yisrael, you're permitted to drink. The Gemara says this Chol of Akum. It's called Chol of Akum. So the Gemara says, what's Chol of Akum? Because there's a chance to reason the basis for the fence. They could mix into the milk non-kosher milk from a non-kosher species, right? So therefore, it has to be supervised. So he says in America, because of the supervision of the government and the penalties, therefore we could say almost with certainty they would not do such a thing because it's not worth their while. Financially, economically, it's not worth their while. But Chazal said, but you have to have supervision. She says, it may not be Chol of Yisrael, but it's not Chol of Akum. That's her Moshe's Chiddush. Okay? So he says, but a Yorishamayim should drink. You're not over in Nisr. You're not in violation of Nisr Rabbanan if you drink milk that's not Chol of Yisrael. But a Yorishamayim should drink Chol of Yisrael. Wait, that's for Moshe's Psak. The Hasidim argue. Not Chol of Yisrael, supervised, it's Chol of Akum. You're in violation of Nisr Rabbanan. So let's say you have Chol of Stam to drink. You don't drink it. Now you go to Europe. Right? And the person has no choice. He says, well, in America I drink Chol of Stam, which is Chol of Akum, when I had no choice. In Europe you drink Chol of Akum. Chol of Stam. In Europe it's Chol of Akum. In Europe the governments, they're not as careful as in America. They're not, no, definitely not. We're talking about in Spain. You go to Spain, there's certain countries there, it's like the Wild West. What? Italy, these countries, it's like the Wild West. No, not only that. Today, I don't know. Today, at one time, the FDA and all the agencies were, today it's harder. But at one time, they were really very, very strict. The government was very, very strict. Today, it's pollution is strict with. So it's irrelevant to them. What? No. But that's the takona. That is the rabbinic. If there's a chance that maybe they're in there, you're not permitted to drink it. So therefore, even though if you makel in America, milk that's not chol in Europe, you can't be makel. Maybe England, yes. England is more of a very straight-laced, stiff, that type of country. If it's the law, or if it's Switzerland, they're very makbid on the laws, right? But if you go to Italy, Spain, these kinds of countries, or Portugal, it's a whole different story over there. Yes. Cheese is much more machmir. Much more machmir. No, but so the Gemara says, because in between, there pores in the cheese, and the non-kosher milk is in the pores. You understand? They're like air pockets in the cheese. It's called Beini Unaiki. That's the lashon of Gemara Avodah Zarah. Right? There's certain pockets. No. Rennet only causes kosher milk from a kosher species to coagulate. Non-kosher milk will not coagulate. It doesn't have the property. But they'll mix it. They'll mix kosher and non-kosher. So that's why butter is even much more lenient. Much more lenient. Because butter doesn't have the consistency of cheese. It's more dense. Butter is more dense in terms of, because it's one entity. In cheese you have air bubbles. And those air bubbles, that's where the not kosher milk fills in those spaces. It's a different process. One you churn. It's a churning issue. You're taking the fat out. So therefore that fat's only in kosher milk, not non-kosher milk. That's why butter, if you eat butter chol Yisrael, that's an extreme chumrah. I mean the Ramos says, butter is over the top. No, butter. In India, your people are makel. You know, in India, they call it something called ghee. India, eating anything from an animal is like, it's like taking poison. It's like blasphemy over there. So they have butter. So people in India know for a fact, people who are machmir elsewhere with butter, in India, they'll be makel with butter. Because there's no way. There's no animal derivative in that butter under any circumstance. I understand that. But I'm saying there's not even the base to be machmir there. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's not even the people. They're not even machmir at all. No, cheese is a separate. Has to be supervised by a Jew. Kosher cheese, right? Kraft cheese. See, many people in America in the 40s, there was a certain person who ruled in the 40s, a rabbi, that you permitted to eat. There were many people who were Shomer Shabbos Jews who went to MIT and Harvard during the 40s, and a certain Rav ruled they could eat Kraft cheese. And these people were big intellectuals. And then, till later, their children became much more observant. They wouldn't eat. But it's not because he compared milk to cheese. It's a whole different. It was a different enactment. Cheese is much more chomer than milk. Much more chomer. Because by cheese, even if the ingredient is kosher, if it's not supervised, let's say you give kosher ingredients to a goy, and there's no Jew supervising the process. When you put the rennet into the milk, the Jew's not permitted to eat that cheese, rabbinically. What are you talking about? Kraft is Jewish? Kosher cheeses. What are you talking about? You think Olam has their own cheese? They go to Wisconsin, and they oversee a run of what's his name of cheese. They have their mashgichim there. They don't have their own factory. Olam does not have their own factory. It says it comes from Wisconsin. No. Yeah, what they said and what you know is that. Yeah, the ones who sell it. It says manufactured under whatever, but then not the actual manufacturers. The distributors of cheese that they supervised. No, that you could eat it. That's not a problem. Because the milk that they used, no, that's something else, but it's still supervised. The cheese supervised a Jew. The material, the ingredients are not Chol of Yisrael. You understand? It's the difference. Non-Chol of Yisrael cheese means the milk is definitely, could be ordinary milk. Ordinary, it's not Chol of Yisrael milk. But the process of making that milk into cheese was supervised by a Jew. It has nothing to do with hashgacha. It has hashgacha. Better, worse, that's not the discussion. Do the Jews supervise the process? Jews supervise the process, that's called Gvinas Yisrael. Gvinas Yisrael made with milk that's not Chol Yisrael. But Chol Yisrael cheese means the milk that they used was Chol Yisrael milk. In addition, it was supervised when the cheese process was made. So that's Gvinas Yisrael made of Chol Yisrael. Right. Chol Yisrael cheese is quality. Olam cheese. Olam is first quality cheese. First quality company. Olam owns Miller's. Same company. So they have the same standard of quality. Some of these non-kosher cheeses, you can't breathe when you walk into the stores. You know, no. It's brought la halacha. In halacha, you know, these cheeses, you know, hard cheese, you have to wait 6 hours. Wait. So our cheese, we don't have real hard cheese. Because what's real hard cheese? By the non-kosher cheeses, they let it age to such a point that eventually worms, they're worms in the cheese. It becomes wormy. And that's considered, that is the cheese, and that's the acridness. The fermentation becomes so intense. The worms are in there. You understand? That's what we're talking about. That's the stench that comes from non-kosher cheese. Blue cheese, green cheese. Yeah, it has to be made by a Jew. Right. There's a cheese that comes from France, which is under hashgocha. What are they called? Brie. Yeah, but it comes from France. It doesn't. So the reason why you have to wait 6 hours, that if it's aged to such a degree, it's so acrid and has a certain intensity of fat, like meat. It takes 6 hours to digest it till all the what's it called? The enzymes come up in your mouth and all that. It's a 6-hour process to get it out of your system. That's the reason. But regular cheese was not. Even though they say today Parmesan, the machmir today, Parmesan cheese, they say you have to wait 6 hours. Yeah, that's a separate discussion. They're different. Rabbaran Kotler Zech Tzadok Levrocha held, he was in Dyke in the Rambam, it's into the 6th hour. No, it's not a full 6 hours. Most people don't hold this way. It's 6 hours. In Lakewood, because they, you know, the lunch meal is always meat, like in Europe, Israel, and the dinner meal is dairy, the yeshiva, but there's not enough time because when they eat the lunch meal, so it comes to they're in the 6th hour. The reason why they schedule it that way, because Rabbaran held you'd have to wait 6 hours. As long as you're in the 6th hour, that's sufficient. It's poshut. I understand, but I'm just saying the minig Ashkenaz. I'm talking minig Ashkenaz. No, I'm not in Germany. Not Germany. Minig Ashkenaz. Minig Ashkenaz is a full 6 hours. The Taz says that person who does not wait 6 hours, ein bo reach Torah. That's the Taz. Ein bo reach Torah. No, the cheese that you have to wait 6 hours, whatever that cheese is. No, he's talking about no. He's talking about after basar, waiting 6 hours before cholov. He says, and if you don't wait, ein bo reach Torah. You don't have a scent. There's not even a scent of Torah to that person. Scent means SCENT. No, because one with dairy after meat. Any dairy, you're not permitted. You have to wait so many hours. So 6 hours you have to wait. I'm just telling you what the Taz writes. Ein bo reach Torah. So there's one of the nosei kelim. One of the nosei kelim in Shulchan Aruch says, why do they wait more? Let's say the yekis. The one is a week, very weak. The hour, waiting an hour. They say it's weak. It's weak. It's very weak. 3 hours. The yekis, the Germans wait. I'll tell you a story of Shlomo Zalman Auerbach in a second. It says in the Gemara in Chulin that you have to wait. What do you wait? How many hours? Bein suda l'suda. Bein suda l'suda. So Tosas learns bein suda l'suda means that if you say birchas hamazon, you're immediately you have milk and meat. No, whatever. No. Doesn't say that. So Tosas says, Tosas is most lenient, that if you eat a meat meal, you say Birchas Hamazon, you can eat dairy immediately. We don't rule this way, but that's Tosas. Others learn, Beitzul Suda means, the amount, the whole thing's offense. What it takes, the normal period of time you wait from one meal to another. In Germany, they would wait 3 hours from one meal to another. They would eat small, let's say a large meal, but they would have something like afternoon tea or something, whatever they had. So Bein Suda, because that was the takana, Bein Suda Suda. Whatever the period of time from one meal to another, since it was only 3 hour gap, after 3 hours, that was the takana. In Russia or Poland, wherever it was, they waited 6 hours. That's where it comes from, the 6 hours. Okay? That's where it comes. Rambam learns, Suda Suda, he says, so that's the question. Is it in the 6th hour or is it a full 6 hours? No, 6 hours. No, so that's the question. So the Medaik and the Rambam, in the 6th hour, 5 plus. Some hold 5. The Rambam means you need the majority. The majority. You're beyond the half an hour point in the 6th hour. 30 minutes and a little bit more. That's enough. So I don't wait 6 hours. Sfardim, 6 hours, of course. That's the Rambam. Most Sfardim wait full 6 hours. Full 6 hours.
Used to wait time. I was a kid. Used to wait 4 hours a week and 6 hours.
Even for adults?
Everybody.
I've heard, but the Gemara doesn't. Yeah, but the Gemara doesn't differentiate. Yeah, but the Gemara doesn't differentiate. It's a drabanan. I know.
Now everything is
It's a chiddush, especially by Moroccans, because Moroccans